Right now, you are probably overpaying for your bulk toilet paper and rotisserie chickens, and the billion-dollar retail corporations are banking on you not noticing the fine print. You probably think Costco is the undisputed, untouchable king of the warehouse club. You think their $1.50 hot dog combo buys your absolute, unquestioning loyalty. But as we navigate 2026, the retail landscape has violently shifted. A massive technological fast one was just pulled right under our noses, making the old reliable warehouse model look completely obsolete. The truth? Your favorite big box giant is quietly scrambling to catch up, and your wallet is caught right in the crossfire. Look, in my 15 years as a retail strategist and consumer finance analyst, I've ripped apart countless earnings reports, consulted on brick-and-mortar pricing wars, and watched how these mega brands squeeze every last dime out of our household budgets. I get it. When inflation is stubbornly hanging around and a standard grocery run feels like you're taking out a second mortgage, you need absolute certainty that your membership fee is working for you, not against you. Here is the secret they don't print on the glossy mailers. The playing field between Costco and Sam's Club is no longer just about who has the better oversized muffins. It is an all-out war for your time and your data, and one of them is currently losing badly. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the entry fee. Costco finally pulled the trigger on their long-threatened price hike. For the first time in 7 years, they jacked up the cost of admission. The basic Gold Star membership now sits at $65, and the premium executive tier is a hefty $130. They threw in a sweetener by raising the maximum 2% reward limit to $1.250. But let's be real. You have to spend a staggering amount of money on bulk goods to hit that ceiling. Meanwhile, Sam's Club is sitting across the street, quietly maintaining their $50 club and $110 plus memberships. But it gets wilder. Sam's Club aggressively partners with platforms like Groupon to practically give their memberships away, frequently dropping the entry-level cost down to $20 for new members. $20 versus $65 just to walk through the front doors. That is a massive gap before you've even put a single item in your cart. Now, you might be asking, isn't Costco worth the premium because the shopping experience is just better? That is exactly the myth we need to bust right now. We have all lived the Costco nightmare. You pull into a parking lot that looks like a post-apocalyptic battleground. You fight for a cart. You navigate aisles jammed with people treating the free sample stations like a buffet. And then, the absolute worst part, the checkout line. You end up trapped behind 6 overloaded carts on a Sunday afternoon, rethinking all of your life choices while someone argues with the cashier about an expired coupon. While Costco was operating like it was still 2015, relying on human receipt checkers armed with Sharpies, Sam's Club fundamentally changed the game. They looked at that exact checkout bottleneck and completely obliterated it. Sam's Club aggressively rolled out their scan and go technology. You pull out your phone, scan the barcode of your bulk paper towels as you put them in your cart, swipe to pay on your screen, and you are done. But here is the 2026 knockout punch. Sam's Club realized the line at the exit door to check receipts was ruining the vibe. So, they installed massive artificial intelligence computer vision gantries at the exits across their US locations. You just walk out. The AI cameras scan your cart, match it to your digital payment in milliseconds, and the doors open. No receipt checker. No bottleneck. It is entirely frictionless. In fact, they are so confident in this tech that they started removing traditional checkout lanes entirely in locations like Grapevine, Texas. Costco. They panicked. For years, Costco leadership insisted they didn't need flashy tech because their members were fiercely loyal. But member surveys consistently showed that checkout speed was the #1 customer frustration. They started losing tech-savvy, time-starved shoppers to Sam's Club. So, in a massive game of catch-up, Costco's CEO recently had to admit they are finally running a 27-store pilot for their own scan and pay system. They are literally borrowing from the Sam's Club playbook. But instead of making the exit frictionless, what was Costco's biggest technological rollout leading up to this? Installing membership card scanners at the front entrance. They forced you to scan your card just to get inside to crack down on membership sharing. The contrast in philosophy is staggering when you really look at it. Sam's Club is deploying millions in AI technology to get you out of the store faster. Costco deployed technology to make sure you belong in the store. I know this sounds crazy, especially if you bleed Kirkland Signature red, but stick with me. If you are paying a premium $130 a year for the privilege of waiting in endless lines, you have to seriously evaluate if the actual products on the shelves are worth the hassle. Now, if you're a Costco loyalist, you probably swear by the Kirkland Signature brand like it's a religion. And for a long time, you were right. Costco built an empire on the idea that store brand didn't have to mean cheap knockoff. But it's 2026, and the gap is closing in a way that should make Costco executives very nervous. In my years analyzing supply chains, I've seen how Costco forces name brands to manufacture Kirkland products to the highest standards. We're talking about Kirkland olive oil beating out high-end Italian imports in lab tests, and their French vodka famously rivaling the top-shelf stuff. But Sam's Club finally woke up. They spent the last 24 months completely overhauling their Members Mark label. They didn't just change the packaging. They aggressively stripped out over 40 controversial ingredients. We're talking no more synthetic colors, no aspartame, and no high-fructose coupon syrup in their core food line. Here's where it gets uncomfortable for the Costco crowd. The price gap. When you look at the 2026 data, Sam's Club is consistently undercutting Costco on the boring, high-volume essentials that actually drain your bank account. Take paper towels. While Kirkland remains the gold standard for many, a 15-roll pack of Members Mark is currently trending at nearly $3 cheaper than Costco's 12-roll equivalent. Or look at the pharmacy. If you are uninsured or have a high deductible, Sam's Club is now offering select generic prescriptions for as low as $4 for their Plus members. Costco's member prescription program is legendary, saving people up to 80%. But Sam's is making a play for the low-cost leader title with aggressive, flat-fee pricing on common meds. And then there is the top-tier drama at the pump. Costco fans will tell you their gas is superior because it's top-tier certified, meaning it has extra detergents to keep your engine clean. Sam's Club? They usually skip the certification to keep the price per gallon a few cents lower. But in 2026, with engine technology becoming more efficient, is that extra detergent worth the 20-minute line at Costco? Here's the secret. Most of the time, that gas is coming from the exact same regional refinery. You are often paying for a badge and a longer wait. But there is one area where Costco still holds a massive, undeniable lead: the fresh factor. If you are buying meat and produce in bulk, the brutally honest verdict is still heavily skewed toward the Big Red Sea. My analysis of 2026 sourcing shows that Costco's meat department remains the gold standard for variety. They offer cuts you just can't find at Sam's, like grass-fed strip loin, tri-tip, and a seafood selection that actually includes whole fish and crab legs, not just frozen bags of tilapia. However, Sam's Club has started a meat clearance strategy that Costco refuses to touch. They mark down high-quality cuts that are nearing their sell-by date early in the morning. If you're a savvy shopper who knows how to use a freezer, you can walk away with prime-grade beef for choice prices. The final math on these memberships isn't about the $15 difference in the sign-up fee. It's about who is actually paying you to shop there. If you are a high-volume household, the Costco executive tier at $130 is basically a high-yield savings account in disguise. With that 2% reward cap recently bumped to $1.250 for 2026, you can spend up to $62.500 before you stop earning. For families buying furniture, appliances, or booking that yearly vacation through Costco Travel, that check at the end of the year doesn't just pay for the membership. It puts hundreds of dollars back in your pocket. But Sam's Club is playing a much more aggressive short game. If you're a Plus member with their MasterCard, you're looking at a staggering 5% back on gas and 3% back on Sam's Club purchases. For a lot of people, that 5% gas perk alone pays for the membership in 3 months. However, Sam's Club caps their 2% membership reward at $500. Once you hit $25,000 in annual spending, you're essentially shopping for free for the house. They are betting you won't spend more than that, whereas Costco is practically begging you to. Here's the part where Costco quietly crushes the competition. Services. I'm talking about Costco Travel. In my 15 years in this industry, I have yet to see a retail perk that provides more raw value than their vacation packages. We're talking about rental cars that are often 30% cheaper than any discount site, often with a free second driver and a Costco shop card thrown in just for showing up. Sam's Club has travel deals, but they feel like a generic corporate discount portal. Costco feels like a high-end travel agency that actually has your back when a flight gets canceled. And then there's the tire center. Costco finally made the move to include free installation with every tire purchase. It simplifies the math. But Sam's Club is fighting back with a roadside assistance package included in their $20 per tire installation fee. For 4 years, they'll tow you or jumpstart your car just for buying their rubber. If you don't have AAA, that $80 investment at Sam's might be the smartest insurance policy you ever buy. Now, you might be asking, Kaka, which one should I actually give my money to in 2026? It's actually simpler than you think. If you are a tech-first shopper who hates lines, values name brands, and wants the absolute lowest barrier to entry, Sam's Club is your champion. Their Scan and Go and AI exit technology make Costco feel like a relic of the 1990s. But if you value the Kirkland Gold standard, if you want the best possible produce and meat for your family, and if you use the travel and pharmacy perks to their full extent, Costco remains the king of the warehouse. The brutally honest truth? Most people are choosing based on which store is 5 minutes closer to their house. But in 2026, the tech gap is finally making people drive those extra 10 miles for the convenience of never standing in a checkout line again. I know this was a lot to digest, but your wallet will thank you for paying attention to the details.